Hello and welcome to Module 2. In this module, I'll be covering the basics of the betting exchange, and the betting exchange we'll be using is Betfair. The first thing we want to do is go straight over to our Betfair link, and that should take you straight to the Betfair homepage. Once there, you go up into the top right hand corner and click Join Now. And that'll take you to the account details page that you need to fill out. Now, when filling out this page, you need to really double check that all of your details are 100% correct, because after we fill out this page, you'll be prompted to verify the account. Now, what's involved in verifying the account is putting forth some form of identification, and that identification is going to be checked against the details you provided in this form to prove that you are indeed a real person. Now, the form will prompt you whether or not you'd like to set a deposit limit. For our purposes of using the account, we won't need a deposit limit. Once you've filled that all in, you can then click Join Now, and once that's done, it should take you straight back to the home page. Now that we have signed up to the account, the next thing you'll need to do is to verify the account. Now, Betfair will automatically try and verify the account, and they'll do that by taking the information that you've given them and comparing that to several databases that they have access to. If they are unable to verify your identity from the information that you've given, then you'll need to verify your identity manually. Now, to do this, we'll just head back over to the module homepage, and we'll just click on Betfair verification. And this page here just shows you what will happen if your account wasn't automatically verified and the steps that you need to take to verify it. And if you do have any problems verifying, you can just head over to the Contact Us tab, and Betfair should be able to help you out. Once you've submitted your documents for verification of the account, it may take a couple days, but in the meantime, we can take a look at some of these markets and some of these bets. Now, having a look at the homepage here, it may be a little bit daunting or confusing, but for the most part, we're only going to be using a very small section of this platform. So what I'm going to do is run you through an example bet. So to start off, we're going to take a look at a football match. And this one happens to be Arsenal versus Tottenham. Now, the first thing you'll notice is the columns of blue and pink boxes. Now, the blue boxes are for the back bet selections, and the pink boxes are for the lay bet selections. Now, we're pretty much never going to be placing any back bets on the betting exchange, just because our trading process requires placing your back bet on the bookmaker and your lay bet on the betting exchange. And that's pretty much the entire reason that we use Betfair, is just because it's somewhere where we can actually place lay bets. So let's say that we wanted to place a lay bet on Arsenal. What we do is just click the pink box, and then a bet slip should pop straight up with a box there where you can enter in your lay stake. And for this example, we're just going to do $10. Now, after you've entered that in, you should see a few numbers pop up. The first one right under there is liability. Now, this represents the amount of money you will lose if the bet doesn't go your way. So if you want to see this a bit more clearly, look over to the left and you'll see there's a red number, your liability, sitting underneath Arsenal. So that means if Arsenal wins, you will lose that $11.80. Now, because you've laid Arsenal, it means that any other outcome other than Arsenal winning, you will have your lay bet pay out. Now, that's why you're going to see the green $9.50 sitting under Tottenham and draw, because they are the only other two outcomes that can happen in this match. Now, the reason it says $9.50 is because a lay bet is not like a normal bet in that the amount you put down as your lay stake is the amount you will win. So we've put in $10, so our win amount will be $10. If we put down a $25 lay stake, that means we'll win $25 if our bet pays out. Now, the reason it's not $10 and it's $9.50 is because of something called the commission. So the commission is present on every market on Betfair, and it's basically a percentage that Betfair takes, obviously, to run their platform. So on this particular market in the Premier League and soccer in general, it's 5%. But you don't need to memorize that at all. Whenever you are on a market, you'll see a little grey box with an eye that says rules. And once you click on that, it'll take you straight down, and at the bottom there, it should say 5%. Now, something else you might have noticed is the number that sits under each set of odds. Now, this is the liquidity of each particular price. So for our Arsenal lay bet here, we have $15 in liquidity. So what that means is that the max lay bet that you could place is $15. Now, the liquidity on prices will change as you get closer to the event. So as you can see further down on the draw, there is over $1,000 available. Now, each time you go to place a lay bet, you need to make sure that the amount you're putting down as your lay stake is equal to or less than the number there, less than the liquidity. And as far as all these odds and liquidities over here in white, we don't really need to worry about that right now. And down below, you'll actually see a couple of other markets. So this is where all of your irregular markets are going to be. Pretty much anything other than match odds, which is obviously the most common. Now, when we go over and we do some trades, we might be using some of these markets. But when we get to that, I'll show you how to place your lay bets on these particular markets and how to find them as well. So now, just as an example, we're going to go ahead and place that $10 lay bet. Obviously, you guys don't need to do this. And then once that's come through, we can now see what comes up. And as you can see, that's come through. And the reason we know that is because it says matched bets. And that's very important because if a bet doesn't go through, it'll have a box underneath that says unmatched bets. Now, this would usually happen if you place your bet at a price that's not current. So let's say you placed the bet at $2.20 instead of $2.18, or if you input a larger lay stake than the current liquidity at that price. So the liquidity before I placed the bet was $15. So if I placed a $20 lay bet, what would happen is that my $15 would get matched, and then $5 of that bet would remain unmatched. So I'll actually run through an example of that now. So let's say we wanted to place another lay bet, $10, on this particular price where the liquidity is $5 right now. So what's going to happen is $5 of that $10 lay stake is going to get matched, and then another $5 is going to remain unmatched. So as you can see, we have our $5 extra matched. Obviously, we have all the other bets that we've placed before, and it does look a bit weird, but it all adds up to $20 matched and then $5 unmatched. But more importantly, you can see there that it says unmatched bet. So if you ever see that, you just need to know that that bet is not currently on the market. And what you want to do if you do get an unmatched bet is just to click over on the little X there, because if you leave the unmatched bet there and you don't cancel it, and the price moves back to $2.18, then that bet is going to get matched. And, you know, normally that'll happen without you knowing. So what you want to do is just cancel it right away, and then whatever bets you need to do before, you can recalculate and do it again. Now, if a bet has gone through, so in our case, it would be these bets here, which is a little over $15 lay bet on Arsenal, and we wanted to pull out of that bet. Now, normally on a bookmaker, this isn't possible, but on an exchange, you can to a certain degree. Now, we do have this button here, which is the cash out feature. Now, at the moment, I can cash out and I will actually make 13 cents. The reason for that is because the back price has moved up. So depending on where the back price has moved, you may cash out for a small profit, which is less likely. More likely is that you'll cash out for a small loss, which is fine. If you really need to cancel the bet and get out of the bet, then that shouldn't be an issue. So if we click that, what it'll do is it'll place a back bet directly against the lay bets that we've done here, and it will effectively cancel out that bet that we've done. So now that we've done that, if you need to have a look at the bets you've placed and keep track of your activity, what you do is you go to my account, you go to my bets, and you have a few options here. So we'll be looking at open and matched. If the bet has been completed, as in the event has already happened and the money has been paid out either way of how your bet's gone, you'll go to settled and the bet should be right there. But for the case of this one, the market is actually still open. The event, the football match, is still yet to happen. So what we'll do is we go to open and matched, and it'll show our bets just here. And for now, that's all you guys really need to know about Betfair. If you struggled with some of the concepts and some of the specifics in these examples and in this module, you don't really need to worry too much, because in the later modules, we're going to be going through more and more bets on both the bookmaker and the betting exchange. And I'll be showing you exactly what to do throughout that process. So as we go through more and more bets on the bookmaker and the betting exchange, and you guys are following me along, you'll start to pick up the specifics of Betfair, how it works, and the things that you need to look out for.